I'm going to give you 3 reasons why the new SEL Premium Palisade is the best third row option out. Not only can you configure a bench for the second row like you can on the SE, but you get more features. This is slotting over the XRT just under the Limited. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to touch bases on some pros and cons and compare this to the competition. Starting in the front, projected LED headlights and daytime runnings. It integrates into the glossy black enlarged grille with the blacked out Hyundai badging. I like the touch that they've done to the front of the Palisade because it looks more prestige than anybody in its class. Because let's face it, this is going after Toyota and Honda, but this is giving more luxury than vehicles like Infiniti, Acura, and even Mazda. Over 8 inches of clearance, the lower gets the satin aluminum with the front parking sensors, and the SEL Premium unlocks a 360-degree reverse camera, which also has a 3D view, and you can see the projection for the front, so when you're going into a car wash, you get upgraded wheels. This is the same wheel design that's on the Limited trim. Underneath the hood is going to house the same 3.8-liter V6 on all Palisades. That's producing 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Front-wheel drive configuration achieving 19 mpgs for the city, 26 mpgs for the highway. Now the con is when you go front-wheel drive, you can only tow up to 3,500 pounds. However, you can still fit 220 pounds on top of these roof rails when you option the crossbars. Going into the all-wheel drive will unlock 5,000 pounds of towing. Going back to the wheels, it starts off at an 18-inch wheel for the SE and SEL, as well as the XRT, getting its own unique wheel. Here we're set with a 20-inch wheel, which is the same as the Limited, going into the Calligraphy and Calligraphy Night, which will be unique to its trim. SEL Premium also gives you the blind spot view monitoring, which uses the cameras on the side view mirror, so you can see that on the 12.3 gauge cluster. It'll show you the screen or the projection, whichever way you're using your signal, so you don't have to look off the road. You can literally just look there. The only con that I have with this is they're giving you these features, but you don't get a heads-up display. You have to go up into the Limited trim. Let me know your thoughts on that. All trims will get a McPherson strut front suspension, a multi-link rear suspension. Rear leveling suspension is going to be on the XRT and up. And this trim also will have that two-tone, which is why you're getting the satin aluminum that's going to be either on the lower or the top part, similar to the XRT. So it's unique there, similar to the Calligraphy and the Calligraphy Night. When you go SEL and under, you're not going to be getting all these sport attributes. And as for competition, Toyota, they don't make a V6. Honda, they do. And they also have the Trail Sport, which is an off-road suspension, as well as increasing the clearance, but you're getting the same towing capabilities. This is going to have more features at the pricing that it's at, making it the reason why I would choose the SEL Premium, because you're getting basically a Limited with the option for a bench or captain seat configuration. And the only other way you could do that is going into an SE, which is also a con because you have to go trim base in order to get features on the Palisade. LED taillights, the lower gets the exhaust outlets, that's exposed. I would expect that because it's a naturally aspirated V6 with reverse sensors. And going up the tier, you can get a digital rear view mirror when you go into the Calligraphy trim. Kind of wish they would trickle that down also, only because the only way you can get the bench configuration is this. Let me know your thoughts on that. But the nice thing about the Palisade is comparing it against Infiniti and Acura, as well as Lexus. This is going to be a bargain, going to have more performance than the Infiniti because they dropped it to the VC turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that has a lot less power than this, but the towing is rated at 6,000 pounds, but the luxury, you're going to get similar attributes here for at least $10,000 to $15,000 less. And as for Acura, it does have the V6 as well, but when you're considering paying that extra $5,000, $10,000 in premium, and this has a better warranty, I mean, I would go Hyundai opposed to those. Power liftgate is standard on all trims with 18 cubic feet of storage behind the third row. 12-volt charger. Underneath the floor, get some storage, and the spare tire is going to be tucked underneath outside, so it maximizes storage capacity. Unfortunately, to get the power folding for the third row, you have to go into the Limited, so you have to pull these, which is a con to me because when you pull it, say you want to pull it back, it doesn't sit. You see? It just kind of folds forward and backwards. With them folded down, that increases the cargo to 45.8 cubic feet. push the buttons for the second row, which is in all trims. That's going to maximize cargo to 86.4 cubic feet. The key fob for the Palisade, it's not the refreshed, but it works. 12-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 10-way power seat adjustment for the passenger, heated ventilated seats start on this trim, H-Tech seats start on the SEL. Cloth seats are going to be base with manual adjustments for the front. Power adjustment for the driver starts on the SEL, memory for the driver. Now we are due for a refresh for this dashboard and this center cluster, but what we're working with, I am all right with because of what you're getting as a package, which you'll see. Let's fire it up. The infotainment screen does come out of the dashboard. It's a 12.3 with a little quick wedge right here that you can click out of to expand it. With Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. You still have physical buttons too, so you don't have to do everything through the infotainment screen, which is nice. You have quiet mode, Hyundai Pay, Hyundai Blue Link, and this trim, when you put it into reverse, you get a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for the front and the rear. You can click on this sub menu and you can line it up for the tow, or you can just expand it out so you can see on both sides. You can also do the 3D view so you can go all around the vehicle, seeing any imperfections so you don't run over or scratch your wheels, as well as zooming in and zooming out. And when you put it into drive, you'll have another sub menu for the front that will show the trajectory for like a car wash, which is awesome because you got upgraded wheels, you don't want to scratch them, you want to see in front of you. It's a long vehicle, it's wide, now it's easy, so that way you can navigate. Try climate control settings, and you still have physical buttons, no touchpad yet, as well as a push to put it into gear with a large rotary knob for the driving modes, which we have a ton of modes. We got Smart, Eco, Comfort, and Sport on this 12.3 digital reader that can go through an array of different content for the driver, including the turn-by-turn navigation with a leather-wrap heated steering wheel. It's multi-function with the paddle shifts. Push this, it's going to slide open to a large storage pocket with a wireless charging pad. The SE doesn't come with that. USB ports, push this, and now you got the cup holders. This is going to be a little bit more sporty than my liking. It opens up to a deep storage pocket with some more USB port and a 12-volt and a little storage bin that you can lift out so you can put anything through there, with a full pass-through and a 12-volt charger that's more towards the driver. As for leg space, you're not going to have any issues. Headroom is good. A moonroof starts on the SEL. Auto dimming rear view mirror. You can get a digital rear view mirror when you go into the limited trim. The calligraphy will add the heads-up display, as well as the ergo motion seats in the premium Napa leather. Dashboard and door panel configure it together nicely. This carbon fiber look, I'm kind of digging it, even though it's a little bit of an older design for the interior. It just kind of offsets it. You'll get the quilted inlays when you go up into the calligraphy. One touch up and down for all the windows. It's soft to touch where it needs to be, with a medium-sized storage pocket. The beverage holder, it's actually perfectly located because it's right in the center, making it easy for somebody like me to access. Going into the second row, this is the room that you have to enter, and the SE and the SEL Premium is the only way you can get this bench configuration. These seats also will adjust forward, so make it easier for the third row, but not so good for me. And you can also recline these back, so that way I can relax, but nobody's going to sit in the back seat behind me. Headroom is good. Storage behind both of the front seats with USB ports. Third, climate control. Heated, ventilated seats start on this trim with a home plug. 12-volt. Cup holders and armrests are going to just fold that up for later on. And we get manual sunshades, as well as acoustic windows for the first, second row, and the windscreen. That's going to be standard on everything except for the SE. The door is going to be soft where it needs to be. 2 cup holders in the top and another on the bottom, sliding into the center because we have the configuration of a bench. You actually have your own feet space, or you could share some. The rails are pushed up. It's a wide vehicle. You're not going to have too many issues if you need the extra room, which is awesome because I actually fit. And if you want the 2-panel moonroof, one in the front and one in the back, as well as the ambient lighting, you have to go up to the limited trim. This is standard on all trims here. That'll move forward. But you have a USB port even in the rear. Going into the limited, this will be heated third row seats, which would be awesome if they trickled it down, but you still get the USB on both sides with the cup holders. And moving this seat back so you can see the leg space, I can actually fit. This is with it reclined and pushed back all the way. So you can tell there's not gonna be any leg space. Headroom is good. Sliding into the center, the same thing with headroom, but then with leg space and butt space, it's gonna be quite a bit of an issue because you can actually utilize this as an armrest, whereas most vehicles, it just kind of comes out and there's nothing there. So I like what they've done with the SEL Premium because you just get a ton of more features going this trim opposed to the XRT. Naturally aspirated V6. Back in the day, we would be saying, man, that V8, it's awesome. Those days are gone. I'm happy that we still get this. With 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, front-wheel drive configuration. On specs, you're getting 19 mpgs to the city. 26 mpgs for the highway. All-wheel drive will unlock that 5,000 pounds. Turn radius is gonna get about 2 lanes. Let's give her a go. That's why I like the bigger engines. You get some of that exhaust that filters in, but it's going to be more tamed. Why? Because the SEL and up get acoustic side windows. The front windscreen is acoustic standard on all trims. So don't necessarily say, well, I'll just get an SE. You're gonna lose quite a bit of features and luxury amenities going that route. Going into the XRT, it's gonna have that off-roadsy look, but you're still losing features. That's why this trim, like I was saying on the exterior, it's awesome. Bench configuration, and you get the same features more or less as the Limited for a discounted price. "20-inch wheels, I'm not feeling that much of the imperfections in the road, and it's gonna take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros is this is the best in class for luxury, because when you go Toyota, Honda, you're gonna have more hard materials. This is gonna have more soft materials throughout the interior of the cabin. Plus, you're gonna have more standard features like USB ports, 12-volt, home plug, wireless charging pad, navigation. You have to pretty much go up to the top tiers in Toyota and Honda in order to unlock this. You still have 3 more trims above this one, and you're getting that here with ventilated heated front and second row seats. Now, heated third row seats, you have to go up into the Limited tier, but it only makes sense. Because why would you give everything here, as well as the second panel moonroof? Enough talk about specs. Now we're gonna see the performance. I mean, the torque will push you back. It's still a comfortable drive though. If they had these vehicles back when I was looking into luxury vehicles, I would have not even looked. That's where I'm at with it. Taking me to some more cons, it has the auto start stop. The pros, you could deactivate it. The steering wheel, the buttons are hard to see, especially in the light. And at nighttime they illuminate, makes it a little bit easier, but I wish they would change the print on them so that way you can utilize it. Plus there's buttons everywhere in the vehicle. And I'm sure in the comments I'm gonna hear, well, I hope that they get a hybrid. I do too, but don't drop the V6 because this is an awesome vehicle. The big problem that I have though is the Santa Fe. They've made it so good, and it's right at a base price to an SEL of this, that you can get a fully loaded calligraphy that way. It's hard to say, would I go that route or this one? Because even though I might be losing 500 pounds of towing, I'm just getting such a great value overall. And I know people will say, well, the dual wet clutch automatic transmission, well then tick the box for the hybrid and you're gonna get great MPGs. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Gettle Hyundai of Lakewood for giving us this 2025 Hyundai Palisade SEL Premium for our car review.